Good evening, all, and welcome to another edition of FSTB, the Liverpool edition. It's all about the Liverpool podcast, peoples. And yep, that's right. I've got a big smile on my face. I'm feeling good. So we're going to say good evening, Mr. Marvelous. How you doing, sir?
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Honest Con. How you doing, sir?
Good evening, manners and respect to everybody.
All right. And good evening to my brother Stoney. How we doing,
evening,
bro?
Sir. Good evening. Good evening, all of the panel, and thanks. Good evening to everybody who's tuned in. We
all feeling good?
Very good.
Well, I can see most of us are feeling good, but I don't know what Con's up to. You know what I mean? Behind there. You know what I mean? Got a feeling he's in there, you know what I mean? In a string vest and a set of boxers.
Credit cards, my head's not
you know what I mean? Don't know what's going on around there. But anyway, all right, gents. Let's start off first. Stoney, lineup. What was your thoughts on the lineup? What did you think?
Do you know what? I think it is what it is. I think so what do we have on our lineup? We had our Keller in goal, which is fine. That's probably expected. Robbo, Trent, Matip, Virgil, Fabinho, Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones playing with Henderson, Jota, Bobby, and we had young Mr. Gordon playing. I think I didn't expect Gordon to actually start. I thought it was going to be Minamino. I know there was a few games that we played. I can't remember the actual game, but Curtis Jones had actually played. I think it was the first game that Mane was unavailable when he played in the Nations Cup. So Curtis Jones actually played as a left forward. That's why I thought Curtis Jones was going to play today. Yeah. Either way, it's fine. As I said, I thought Minamino was going to play instead of Gordon. Gordon played, and I think he had a reasonable good game. It's minutes and experience underneath.
Exactly. So, it's a learning curve. Yeah. It's a learning curve.
No issue with the starting lineup at all for me.
Okay. Marvelous.
Yeah. I looked at the team. And like we said last week, Curtis Jones was in. Even Klopp recognised that we needed a man that can carry the ball, 30 yards and you know what I mean, and pass it, and who can get back and track. You know, I ain't gonna run Milner because Milner for me is a legend. 37, still the commentator said it during the game. He's still he runs more miles than anybody else. So I ain't we needed the youth of Curtis Jones. And I keep telling man, this guy's a player in the making. He's 20 years old.
100%.
The first half, I thought he was magnificent. I thought he was fantastic. As for the other changes, the young man coming for, I'm not sure, can't remember what the young man's name is. What's his name again?
Gordon.
Yeah, he come in. He done well. He just played it simple. Didn't try nothing elaborate. Had the chance. But yeah, it was... as long as we got the Champions League winning back four, I know we got the young man Kelleher in goal. I think we're safe. I looked at that, I think we're safe. Do you know what I mean? The only thing that made it a bit of a game was we didn't finish them at Anfield. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honest Con.
Yep.
How much faster with the mic there?
Pardon?
Yes, you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Right, with the starting lineup, I weren't really happy with the goalkeeper situation in the sense that Keller's a good goalkeeper, but I thought that because we haven't got our the normal guys who were playing up front, right, the other two, I just thought that Alisson, with a distribution of the ball, would be better than Keller. So I was pretty disappointed. I just thought with football, I know that he's done well in the previous rounds, but I just thought, don't get sentimental and just put him in there for the sake of it, And then I didn't understand. Maybe Klopp was thinking Liverpool might go to penalties because I couldn't understand why he had two goalkeepers on the bench.
Yeah. Okay.
That was I just thought as a team to see that you got another goalkeeper on the bench. But look, we could always say hindsight. We didn't lose. I did think that Arsenal would have scored and made more of a game of it. The first 20 minutes, they were very strong. We just got through it, really. I mean, I just, some things I just don't, it's like he doesn't feel Oxlade-Chamberlain anymore. he don't really give him he don't really play a full game. Don't very does he start?
Because he pretty might get injured.
He's injured.
That's why.
No,
I'm saying that's why he doesn't play a full game, because he's probably trying to protect.
He got a knock in the last game, Con.
That's right. Yeah, he got a knock in the last game. That's why he wasn't in this one. He wasn't in the squad. Because to be fair, when I was looking at the teams, I was hoping that he would start. The two changes I was talking about from last week was bringing in Curtis Jones and Ox.
But I think you're right. In the last game that we actually played, I think against Brentford, that knock that he got on his foot, I don't know whether he got stood on, whether one of the Brentford players actually stood on his foot, but you can see that it appeared that he was in a lot of discomfort. So I wasn't surprised that Ox didn't actually feature today. I think it's more important that we actually rest him. But yeah, I think it was more to do with his injury from the Brentford game.
And the other problem I had, I thought that it was very risky. Like, Gordon played well against Shrewsbury in the FA Cup. He done well. And the other day he gave him last 5 minutes or 5-10 minutes against Brentford. I just didn't think, away from Anfield, to start him in this game. I didn't think we could talk about now. Everyone will say you're wrong because Liverpool won 2-0. I just thought it was probably better to start the other guy first and then bring him on actually when the Arsenal players' defense is a bit tired.
Yeah, I was surprised that Gordon started, to be fair. In the grand scheme of things, when I look at it, I think he offered something different from Minamino with his running. Nah. Minamino's neat and tidy on the ball. Neat and tidy on the ball, but yeah, he's probably a lot strong. He's not strong enough. Not strong enough. But yeah, so yeah, I was surprised. I felt sorry for the lad as well because he missed a big opportunity.
Yeah.
Jota done tremendous. Done Ben White nicely. Took his time, looked like and rolled it back for him.
I think
yeah. Something's wrong with your mic, man. You keep making noise with your mic.
Is it my mic? I thought it was
that you were quite surprised that Gordon actually played today. I think when we played against Shrewsbury, Waltman came off at half-time, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I think if Waltman wasn't injured, I believe that Waltman probably would have featured today instead of Gordon. That's what I think. Someone sounds like they're walking in the woods.
Because I tell you, I don't know what Con's doing under there. Trust me.
I'll tell you what, Artie, I'm going to switch devices and I'll come back on, yeah?
All right, perfect. No problem, brother. Yeah, I think it was one of those things. If Waltman didn't get injured against Shrewsbury, I believe that he probably would have played today instead of Waltman, or he probably would have featured on the bench today. But as I said, the starting lineup doesn't surprise me. I think it was good that Curtis Jones got more minutes today. He's played in midfield, and as he said, as I mentioned before, he's played in the left forward side of the position. I thought he was quite tidy today as well. Today, Curtis Jones. I was actually impressed. I'm glad he's getting more game time. You can obviously see that. My opinion is that he's obviously growing with confidence as well. He's still confident in actually playing in tight areas, especially in the first half. There was a couple opportunities where he was closed or pressed really quickly by Arsenal's players. Odegaard pressed him quite a lot today, which is quite quick, but Curtis Jones wasn't really fazed by that. So I actually thought he had a tidy game today. I'm happy that he got some game time and some minutes, and some credit to him as well.
Definitely, 100%.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the Arsenal lineup?
Okay. I thought, after you, bro. Me.
Go for it, Marvelous. Go for it.
Yeah. Pretty expected it. They'll come out with more, and that's the best side they could possibly field. Martinelli, Saka, Lacazette up front, Lokonga in midfield alongside Odegaard. Not sure about this guy in central midfield. I don't think he's got the all-round abilities to play in that position. He is essentially attacking midfielder. So I thought that could be an area where Liverpool could exploit them. And I think we did. he's not got the defensive attributes to track back and close down spaces. And I thought, yeah, Liverpool took full advantage of that today. Other than that, they brought back the right back to Messiah. Can't remember how to pronounce his name. Maybe he wasn't up to, match sharpness, but he's definitely fit. And if you'd asked me before the game, like I spoke to a couple man in my football group, I was saying this is 50-50. Do you know what I mean? I took confidence. If I know we got Jota and Firmino, but they are yet to work in tandem that often. And then we got the young lad who is playing on the right-hand side. So I thought, looking at Arsenal's lineup, I thought, you know what? It's pretty strong. Yeah. I thought we played against Brentford. Not Brentford. Who did we play on Saturday?
Yeah, Brentford.
We played against Brentford on Saturday. We're down to essentially the bare bones of the squad. So I'm thinking, you know what? We need an early goal. Fortunately, we got that. And then at some stage, I expected an Arsenal onslaught. I felt that because they missed the game at the weekend, had postponed because of whatever reason, I thought come the last, I know certain Arsenal man are thinking I'm going to rub this in there, but I thought come the last 20-25 minutes, they're going to go for it. Regardless, they're going to go for it. We got tired legs out there. Let's see what happens. And I thought Liverpool were very, very, who said it? I think Stoney said it, or I think Liverpool were very, very efficient. It was a very professional performance.
Very, very, very professional. I think we did very, very well.
Game of football.
Yeah, I think we did very well. I was expecting a lot of tighter game. I passed earlier on and saw a couple of my friends, and they was asking me, "What do you reckon?" And I was saying it's going to be tight, 2-1 to us. Not 100% confident, because also I'm looking at, are we going to score goals? That's my main thing. That's my main worry. I know that we can do a job at the back, but are we going to score goals? Then watching the game, a bit of a worry for me. I don't know, like Matip, I think he had a few of these before the game.
Yeah, he was just not quite on the ball.
Sure. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but I'm glad to see that Klopp recognised that and dealt with that early. That's what I like. You know what I mean? Yeah, you see that, deal with that early.
What I like about Klopp is, I know my man earlier mentioned the keeper, and we all, it's a no-brainer. Playing Alisson would have been a no-brainer. But to play Kelleher in a game like that, do you know what that's done for his confidence? I think he's a good goalkeeper. He's a good
he is a good goalkeeper, and I think he's there on merit.
He's only 23 as well.
So yeah, but he's there on merit, and his past performances, he deserves to play in that game.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no way I can knock him, or I'm worried. Yeah. I rate him.
Yeah, Alisson.
No, I didn't say I didn't rate him. I just thought his distribution, Alisson would have been better, being that the Mane and Salah weren't there. For his distribution, because he can ping a ball. Yeah, it would have been better to have Alisson there. That's the only reason why I'm saying that.
Alisson's a match winner. Hey, Alisson wins matches for Liverpool, no doubt. Yep. But I think the lad, I've been watching this lad for the last couple of seasons, and he's more than competent of playing against good opposition. And I think it was genius from Klopp to play him today, because that would have done his confidence like a world of good. Because I thought he was perfect today.
Quick question, guys. Do you think that in the final he should play in the final?
I think that's really good.
That's a good question.
It's a very good question. I think it's one of those things as well. I mean, look, we all know that Kelleher has played in the previous game as well, in the Carabao Cup, but we also have to remember as well, and I'm not saying this was the reason for his omission today, okay? Remember, Alisson's still recovering from COVID. We still don't know how that's actually having an impact on players. We have absolutely no idea. But I agree that Alisson's our number one goalie. But if Kelleher plays in goal in the final, do you know what? I'm still calm. Either of them that play in there, I'm still calm.
Yeah,
I'm still calm, because I think the thing is, which has been quite interesting, and there's a lot of people obviously tuning in today as well. So put your comments in the feed for us. When Kelleher plays, he's 23, but he plays like he's about 30. He actually doesn't make errors. He's there and He's a very competent goalkeeper. You can see that the squad actually believes in him as well.
Mm-hmm.
So whichever goalkeeper plays in the final, I think I'll be happy.
Okay, stick a pin just quickly, gentlemen. Let me just go to these comments and say hello to a few people. Hello, Reese. Reese the regular never lets us down, Mr. Reese. And Mr. Reese is saying Wembley, Wembley. Loving that. And he's laughing at Thomas' party as well. Mr. Motaz, big up yourself, Motaz. He said, I don't think we need Salah anymore. Jota is the new Salah. Let's not go too far. Get ahead of ourselves there. Lee Shane, how you doing, my brother? Hello, Lee Shane.
Sorry, just to pause you there, Mr. Artie, I do apologise. Lee Shane is absolutely a legend at the Old Orients Football Club that I used to play for as well. He's also a deputy head teacher of a school that absolute knowledge and amazing.
Okay. Stoney frozen a bit there. Sorry about that. Okay, says Anfield South, here we come. Lee Shane says K. Gordon, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, big futures. And Trent is still only 23. Futures bright. I definitely hear that. Mr. B, my younger brothers, both with no sense supporting the Reds. This is the guy who got Tump up 5-0 in their own backyard. Yeah. Tump up 5-0 in their own backyard, and he's coming on there talking. Have you no shame?
Oh, goodness.
Yo, Stoney, talk to your brother, man. I beg you, please. Talking about Cade Gordon earlier about the surprise that he played. Lee Shane says, surely that shows the faith and belief that Klopp has in Gordon. Big game away from home. One of his better games, tries too hard sometimes, but kept the ball really well. Sure, that's about Curtis Jones. It's all those full pitch runs he's been making. And Kelleher plays, I'm not nervous, he says. Adrian plays, he says, I shit myself. Kelleher's earned the shot, but I think he's played obviously second fiddle to Addison. That's a no-brainer. That is not a no-brainer. But yeah, like I said, I definitely agree with that, and he definitely has earned his shot. For me, would Kelleher start in the final? Like I said, I wouldn't be nervous if he started in the final. Now, to be honest, I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be like, oh, what are you doing? I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah.
Honestly, I got a lot of faith in this year, and I think he's coming through lovely, and he's been taking his time to come through. Klopp's been nurturing him neatly, and another reason why I'm glad he played in these games, because if he doesn't play in these games, he's not really going to play in the Prem that much. So when is he going to play?
Yeah.
So these are the perfect games for these guys to get blooded and gain some experience.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Last season, when we had the heart of our defense ripped out.
Yeah.
Kelleher, he came in and on occasions, and he's still done well.
Yeah.
So playing behind that defense, Matip, Van Dijk, you're talking about that's a Champions League winning defense, more or less. Yeah.
100%.
And fully, full respect to Arsenal. I think Arsenal on a read are a good side, a good young team. But this is the kind of games where you find out if this guy can sink or swim, because the game's about a squad now. It's not about 11 players. And Liverpool have long been criticised for the strength of the guys that come in.
Yes.
And today, you give them the credit where the credit's due. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. For players, i.e. the youngster who came in today, I rate Klopp for putting him in. Because he put Minamino in there. And Curtis Jones, credit where credit's due. These are the kind of games that some of these players need to be playing in and to shine. I think they both done that today. So, Klopp, well done, man. Well done.
No problem. What was you going to say, Con?
What we're going to do with Liverpool, right, from February the 6th, Liverpool's got, right, quite a lot of games. I don't know, with squad injuries and things, can they pull this off? February the 6th, they got Cardiff. On the 10th, they got Leicester. On the 13th, they got Burnley. They got Champions League on the 16th. And on the 19th of February. So in a space of, 13 days, Liverpool's going to be playing 5 games in 13 days.
Yeah. That's a bit.
It is. I think my only response to that would be, Con, is with a club of our stature, great stature, we want to be involved in every single competition. And as we at this current minute, we're involved in pushing for the league, regardless of how much points Man City are involved above us, right? So we're still in the Premier League, we're still involved in the Champions League, we're still involved in the FA Cup, and we're still involved in the Carabao Cup. Listen, you know what? Praise be. That is the position we want to be. Our squad may not be as large as Man City or Chelsea, but we have to do what we have to do in-house. We're still in a position, man. So let's bring it on. I'm confident that our players, our coaching staff, and Klopp will manage it to a level where we'll still be pushing and we'll be comfortable. So we got
players coming back, because little note that I heard was by February the 6th, Origi and Thiago should be back as well.
And possibly Harvey Elliott as well.
Don't mention Origi. Come on, man.
Harvey Elliott. What?
It's squad numbers, though, Con. It's just squad numbers.
Bro, listen. Bro. Listen, Con. Don't upset my spirit here, bro. Listen. Now, this time here, I'll be honest with you, Con.
No.
We talked about Origi last week, yeah? And what I was saying was, this time now, with Mane and Salah away, would have been a good time for him to get a run. And he knows, no one can't tell me he don't know where the back of the net is.
But I don't think
he can't tell me that.
No, but what's happened to him then? How come he hasn't featured?
He's injured.
Starting as him starting in the starting 11, I just don't think you get as much out of him. Maybe come off the bench last 15, 20 minutes, but starting with him, I mean, he hasn't been great, has he?
Yeah, but even that, at least we've still got him on the bench, someone to turn to change things up, to score a goal. When you look at our bench today, who are you really looking at to draw for a goal? Yeah, that's what I thought.
When he comes back, but we don't. No. When he comes back, we don't know what time, because, like, to me, Van Dijk, since he's had that long injury, he hasn't been the same sort of player.
It take a little while to come back though in that rhythm, though.
Of course. But yeah,
so
two more players back to the squad, man. Yeah, Lee Shane says.
Sorry.
Who's what? Thiago.
He's still not fit.
What? Yeah. So he'll be back about.
Thiago's meant to be out for about a month, isn't he?
Nah, they reckon he'll be back around the 6th as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can get them two back. Harvey Elliott soon to come back as well.
Hopefully,
another free player. That's another 3 good players for me to add back to the team.
I mean, like, you got to remember, we ain't got cash. We don't burn cash like Chelsea or Manchester City, yeah? And yet, we're sitting above Chelsea in the league. We're playing them in a cup final. We've qualified from the Champions League with 100% record. The FA Cup still to play for. We've only spent 40 million this season.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You could even, there's a case for saying that Klopp is punching above his weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's true.
I mean, we're there, I find it hard to criticize Liverpool. We all want to see Liverpool bring in more players and that, yeah. But at the minute, what Klopp gets out of the squad that he has and the players that he's bought, the players that he chooses, we don't just say, yo, you're good, you're coming to Liverpool. No, it don't work like that. Every player who puts on a Liverpool shirt is carefully chosen, based on not just physical attributes, but their characteristics. I think I think Klopp has done a superb job. You give another manager that squad, what Liverpool have, and they'll struggle.
Yep, I fully agree. With that.
I got an argument. I got an argument though. Since Klopp's been at Liverpool, right? Maybe it's not his fault or someone's fault, but how many? Right, we at this moment, right? I'm gonna try at top head. One left Liverpool on a fee. What's his name? The German guy, yeah.
Yeah, Sean. Yeah, what do you think?
The German guy who played for Liverpool. Then Daniel Sturridge left. Daniel's left on a free. Nathaniel left on a free. Okay. Origi hasn't signed a new contract. He might leave on a free. Gini's left on a free. That's 5 players, and then we're letting them go on a free. Then we're going to start moaning. Should we play Salah? I just think like Liverpool should have in place. If a person's not going to sign a contract under a certain amount of time, you got to sell it as a business. Think how much the 5 players could have got for the play. We let them go on a free.
I think that's quite interesting, actually, Con. I think that's quite interesting, and I know it's only those. I know it's only those 4 plays that you've actually highlighted.
And then the Origi one as well. I mean, I can't tell you the inflation on prices. I couldn't say to you how much we should have got for them in the last year of their contract, but I think, and including Origi on this, I'm just going to just have a rough guess. Say if we saw those players all in the last bit of their contract, I would say roughly 50 to 60 million we could have got for them 5 players. Then we're moaning about, should we give Salah a pay rise? I think enough's enough. If a player doesn't want to sign a new contract and Liverpool's offered it to him, got to stop them going free. I mean, the thing what hurts me about Gini is it's not 30 years ago when a player's 32, everyone said he's retired. What is he, 30, 31? You could get another 5 years out of him. And Liverpool, he don't want to sign a contract for Liverpool. If he didn't want to sign a new contract to Liverpool, fair enough. But Liverpool should have, like, last year, Liverpool weren't going to win the league. I could understand they were going to win the league. The defensive thingy, just get rid of him at January or get rid of him at the beginning of the season then. Even if we got 10 million for him, 15 million for him.
Con, you know what? I've just got a counter argument on that, and I'm going to be really, 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 really quick on that. Right, I'm going to have a counter argument, and I know it's only a few players that you highlighted, and I completely respect that. You mentioned obviously about Sturridge, about Gini, and a couple other players, right? Right. So those were the players that actually went on a free, and you were saying that we probably could have got money from it. Let's flip it the other way. So we're probably talking. I think Sturridge would have left before Lovren, right? Check this. We got nearly £11 million for Lovren. We got nearly £4 million for Ilara. We got £13.5 million for Hoover. We got nearly £24 million for Ryan Brewster.
Yeah.
Come on, we're getting money there. Kababa, we got £3 million. You know what, Conway? We got £10.5 million for Grujic that didn't even play. We got £6.5 million for Teu, who went to the team in Germany, Union Berlin. We got £6.5 million. We got £12 million for Harry Wilson, £9.5 million for Shaqiri. So as much as those players have actually gone out on loan, look at the amount of P's we've actually brought in.
15. I forgot to add
finance-wise, Conway, we're still up.
Where's that marvelous 15 million for who?
15 million for Jordan I.
Yeah, that's another one. But another thing I was going to say. Hold on, 1 minute.
As much as they've gone on a free, we still got money.
Another thing I was going to say. Those same players that you mentioned, right? For me, Emre Can, Sturridge, Gini, Lovren, blah blah. Yeah. We ain't missed them.
Okay, but my thing is,
I'll
tell you why I brought this argument up. The reason why, debate, not argument. The reason why I brought it up, because it's like Salah is ripping up. When it comes to goal scoring, do you think of all the Liverpool's past number 9 strikers, Kenny Dalglish, Kevin Keegan, Todak, the great Roger Hunt, Ian Rush, Suarez, all them, Colin Morph, Robbie Fant, Michael Owen, Salah is just brought it to another level, and then like Liverpool's equivalent overpriced, man. I just think that it's sort of like embarrassing.
Because we're run as a sensible club, and no one's going to hold us to ransom. Do you understand? No one's going to hold us to ransom. We're run as a sensible club, and if you start doing things like that,
okay, then all right, then
opens the door for the rest of the team to come in. Okay. Well, hold on. You know what I mean? Then Virgil might come and knock on the door and say, "Hey, what? I'm supposed to be the best defender in the world. Sort me out."
Okay, then
Alisson's gonna come in. Okay, I'm like top 2 keepers in the world. Sort me out. Where does it stop?
Okay, then, but therefore, then, right? Then at this time and period, I think it's 18 months he's got left now, right? If he doesn't sign a new contract, when does Liverpool say, right, we're just going to have to try and get rid of him then?
It would have to be next season.
It's hard.
That's the case.
Or do you think Liverpool should take the gamble and let him go free as well?
Con, it's really hard, and I agree with you. We've basically got a player that's 29 in his prime, and I don't think anybody globally can actually question his ability or his numbers. So you're right. I agree with you. We are in a very, very, very sticky situation. I'm confident that long-term Liverpool will do what's best for the club. I'm just putting it out there. I want Salah to remain. However, I think it's also important that I don't think that we should place ourselves in a position where we are, and I'm not using this term because I don't think salary agent are like that, but I don't think we should be putting ourselves in a position where we're held to ransom. Because 100%. what that will then feel to me is that our coaching staff aren't then thinking beyond Salah. So I'm not saying we're going to get anybody on these numbers. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we have to think, if he's not there, then what are our next options?
Okay, we all support Liverpool then. All right, then say like, to me, right, they can't agree on it, and Man City just said, you know what, we'll give Liverpool 100 million, and he went to Man City, right? Imagine Suarez, imagine Salah was at Man City.
Please don't say that. Don't say that, please, man.
Hard for ourselves.
I'm saying, like, you know what? Love Salah. Hope he does sign a new contract. But you know what? I can remember 3 or 4 seasons ago, we were saying the same thing, sitting there talking about Phil, not us, Phil, but I remember we were sitting there discussing man like Phil Coutinho and saying exactly those things.
Yeah,
life goes on.
No, I don't. Not me. I never write. He's very inconsistent. Away from Anfield, he's very consistent. They could have had it. I thought that was a bargain. Very inconsistent from Anfield, Coutinho.
Liverpool will do what they have.
I couldn't believe Liverpool got Barcelona blind on that deal.
Yeah, no. But you know what? You're right. I agree with you, Con. I agree with you, Marvelous, as well. But as I said, I think for me, and it's not a case of me sitting on the fence. I think it's one of these things as well. We've got an exceptional player, but we also have to think of a plan B. And that plan B is if for whatever reason that financial package is not suitable for Liverpool or Salah, then we have to think beyond that. And I'm just putting it out there. I want Salah to stay. But as I'm saying, we have to have a plan B. We're not a little club, so we will have a plan B.
He wants a couple of these quick ones. Lee Shane says, having 2 keepers to choose between is a good problem to have. There have been dark times before, so now it's not a worry. It's a good thing for us to have the 2 keepers. Fanatic 1, he thinks Addison will start, but Keller definitely deserves to start. Mr. B's back again. I don't know what he's trolling us for. He says, Fanatic, you've got no sense either. Mr. B, stick with your mid-table no hopers. Wreck-It Ralph, love that. Fanatic, say that to the magician. We're in for 4 trophies. Minute silence for Arsenal, whose season ended in January. It's the Jed. He says, why is Marvelous always talking about City and Chelsea in terms of their finances? Me saying true, but when we've gotten 15 million for Ivan, 10 for McLaughlin, you can't grumble. Bingy saying, and we got 25 million for Solanke. Hey, that's another one.
Yeah,
Solanke was another one. We got some.
I'll tell
good money for Benteke as well. Remember that we got good money for Benteke as well.
Benteke 32 mil, isn't it?
Yeah, we got good few mil for him. Yeah. Amonde says, big up Kop Talk. Great discussion. Thank you very much, Mr. Amonde, sir. Good to see you. If you're talking about good financial housekeeping, you don't get better than Chelsea. We bought Lukaku for nothing because of astuteness in the market.
That's a point.
Bingy says he believes Mo will stay, and it's been said he wants assurances that better quality players will come in the summer. Salah is great. Do your best to keep him, but don't mash up your wage structure. And that is from Mr. Amonde. And that's exactly what we're saying. I agree 110%. 110%. Anyway, we are going to move on from that side of talk now. We're going to keep it moving. Quick
question. Does anyone know how much Mo Salah's asking for? That's the
The,
last
the rumors are about 400 grand.
So that's the same as De Bruyne.
Yeah, that's the rumors. Okay. It's about 400 grand. But no one knows the real 100, do they?
No one knows.
400 bags.
What is he on at the moment? Does anybody know? In football terms, does anybody know?
I think, what did they say? I think he was on about...
Anybody in the comments? While we're hosting our show, if
he was on about something like 175.
I think he's on about 200 to 250.
Okay.
Is it?
Mm.
A lot of bags.
About 200, I reckon, yeah.
Okay. He's buying houses a week then, yeah?
as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Paul Robinson says, you'll never walk alone. Honest Con is stating facts. How much you paying, Con? Little backhander.
Boy,
Bingy says, I'd stay with Keller in goal. Bingy says, I'd stay with Keller in goal. He definitely warrants us to start. I have complete faith in him, but I'd start most of our main 11. Definitely. Paul Robinson says, Bingy, you're chatting breeze. And Bingy says he believes that he's on about 225 grand a week.
Okay. So he's not struggling then.
Yeah,
definitely.
He might find certain weeks a bit hard, you know what I mean? When the gas and electric bill come in, he might find it a bit hard. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's just astronomical kind of money when you think man like John Barnes at his peak was earning 10 grand.
NG.
How much is Milner on? How much is Milner on?
And that was big money. He was probably on about 100 bags. Probably on about 100 bags.
Remember,
he said, you think that Virgil is on the most? He's on probably about 250.
Right. Okay.
So nearly 300. Yeah. Yeah. I think we should run ourselves as a proper business and not break the wage bank. I always look at it like this: life must go on. Players have come, players go, and there's other players out there. Before we had Salah, we were still doing stuff and we were still winning trophies. And we will still win stuff and win trophies when he's gone.
This is what I'm saying. I can remember.
So,
Luis Suarez, all of these guys, top of their game. We lost them all.
No.
We found the majority of these players for not no big transfer fees either. You have to remember this. A lot of these guys
we got to a League Cup. We got 2012. We got to a League Cup final, which we won against Cardiff or whatever. We lost the FA Cup in 2012. 2016, we lost the UEFA Cup, didn't we? We lost the final. So we weren't really doing that really great, really, was we?
It's progression, though, Con. We have to take baby step. And if you think prior to that we were as a club, I think all of us on the show, if we have to think prior to that we were as a club, we weren't in a happy place. We weren't. No. So I think in terms of
what Jackson Hill,
I agree with that to an extent, but I'm also saying is what we also had to contend with was Man City's money and Chelsea's money. And the fact that I think in terms of finance, they are light years ahead of anybody else, and we're still up there against them. I believe that has to get credit in terms of the trajectory we've actually made. So I'm not questioning what you said, Con, absolutely no way. But I'm saying in terms of finance, what them guys have had, still currently have, and what we have, we're still punching above our weight.
We're still up there with them, challenging them, and still winning trophies.
No player is bigger than the club.
No. What I'm saying, we're lucky. We're lucky that we got that money for Coutinho, because I believe if he didn't go for that sort of fast money.
How's that lucky? Coutinho was pulling up trees. Barcelona did. What Liverpool done? What's that guy's name who does all the business deals?
Robinson.
A fantastic
piece
of business. That's not luck. Do you know what I'm saying?
Good business sense.
You've already said he was inconsistent, yet we still managed to sell that guy on for 146 million, and he's never looked like the same player since. And I still rate him.
Yeah, I like Coutinho.
That's not luck, bro. All them players that we sold, that isn't luck, mate.
This is what I'm talking about. Hold on there. This is what I'm talking about, Con, and I think what we're talking about, what most of us are talking about here. Lee Shane says, no one is bigger than the club. Klopp has created a new culture and ethos within the club. No one expected Mane or Mo to become what they have when we signed them. And that's what will happen with future players.
Klopp will, you know what, even if we sold Salah, or Salah stays, Klopp is the type of man who'll fling a youth in there. He'll fling he'll fling Harvey Elliott in there. That's
exactly.
It ain't about, I mean, we rate Salah. Salah's been phenomenal, but I've supported Liverpool for time through the thick and thin. And even then, we always find a player. We always put someone in. It's part of our DNA. So if Salah goes, someone else will come to Liverpool or within our ranks will rise up. That's, that's why I support Liverpool. You understand? Not because I'm frightened to see man go. I ain't frightened to see no player leave Liverpool. Leave, innit? Don't find, if the grass ain't always greener on the other side.
And you can ask them guys.
If you say,
Gini hasn't found it green on the other side. Emre Can definitely hasn't found it green on the other side.
Like Klopp told Coutinho, you stay here, you become a legend. You go and just become anybody. So if Salah feels say, you know what, I can get more money elsewhere, here you go, mate, you can go. We'll find someone else. That's having faith in the jersey, bro. You know what I mean?
100%.
That's how I feel, you know what I'm saying?
Robert says, big up Mr. MC Marvelous. And Jed says, what changed Liverpool's fortunes was the correct decisions to spend huge amounts of money on Alisson and the ponytail guy. Hence why you won the Champions League and the Prem.
But you know what? I agree with you as well. And thank you very much, Jed. That is shrewd scouting and shrewd purchasing. And the reason why I say that is there's a little club from Manchester, Red Bricks, who spent £89 million on a player that runs in reverse for 80 mils, and my guy ain't one fluff. So it's about one of those things.
I've seen milk floats turn quicker than him.
That's what I'm saying.
To the guy Jed, can I just chip in there? There's also a player, who left Chelsea for 17 million, went to Man United for Everton.
Everton.
Then who else? Manchester United. For Chelsea to buy that same said player who they let go for 30 million for 100 million.
He went West Brom as well.
That was on loan.
Right, he went West Brom.
He went West Brom as well, you know.
West Brom was on loan.
Yeah, you're right. But still, he still went there. You're right. He still went West Brom, though. You're right.
But they paid silly money for him, man. It's like, I don't know, and Pogba at Man United as well. They let him go to Juventus, remember?
Talk about that.
Dude, we went Juventus.
Pogba from Man United.
Man United went Juventus.
And then they brought him back.
Yeah.
And how much did they pay for him?
80.
Not 80 million?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, you know.
But Con. Oh, no, sorry. Go ahead, Marvelous.
No,
has anyone heard any transfer rumors? I'm still
responding to Jed's comments. He's a Chelsea supporter. You know what doesn't matter if you flop, innit? Don't matter if you know. I can go back from what's that guy who used to play for Chelsea? Fernando Torres.
Yeah. Oh.
You can name Chelsea strikers. You can name them.
Ask them about Kennedy.
Many of them flop. You know what I mean? So
Chris Sutton. Remember they bought Chris Sutton?
Oh, God,
they bought Chris Sutton, boy.
All right, wow. DJ Nibsy says, yes, Marvelous and gents. Big up DJ Nibsy. Bingy, he says, throughout our history, we've sold top quality forwards and we've replaced them with better. When Torres left, we got Suarez and now we have Mo. So if he goes, I have faith we will get another top forward. Okay, Bingy says, hashtag Mbappe. We lost owing to Real Madrid, then won the Champions League the following season.
Listen, for the price of Mbappe, we can actually buy a new stand.
Yeah,
for the price of Mbappe. Let's not get it twisted.
He's free, you know. He's free and he ain't signed no.
I know, but Marvelous. We could still buy a new stand, man.
Hey, if Mbappe comes in, that wage structure is gonna have to go.
All right then.
That wage structure is gonna have to go.
Be done, man.
Mbappe or Salah?
Keep Salah there. Mbappe will brock us, man. I don't want to be like Derby, man.
Financially wise, Mbappe would brock us, seriously.
Yeah, no, but if you have the opportunity, I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, if you had an opportunity, to let Salah go and get Mbappe on a free, what would you choose?
I think, to be honest, I might have to say
Marvelous. How
to say Mbappe. Future
on the free.
Yeah.
You're cutting out, Con.
All right, then on the free, how much wage signing on fee would be something less like £800 a week on a free?
We'll be in trouble. We'll be in trouble.
Even if we had the financial clout, I'd still have Salah. You know, I don't care.
I hear that.
I tell you what, I would do a game edit and put Mbappe on my Football Manager. That's what I'd do. That's the closest we're gonna get to getting Mbappe.
All right, gents, we are getting near to that time, so let's have a quick one with some little transfer gossip we heard earlier on. Con mentioned something. I think he's a bit frightened to mention it now. Lost his marbles, you know what I mean? Lost his cojones. But they're talking about Firmino to Barcelona. Would you, and 16 million? Would you let him go?
Yeah, I heard that. So, pardon?
Would you let him go for 16 million?
Yeah, I would let him go. I'll let him go.
In this January or at the end of the season, Con?
Good question. Good question, Stoney.
30 million. Let go, man.
No, Con. Stoney said now in January or at the end of the season.
At the end of the season.
I'll tell you this. No, I ain't getting rid of that guy. This Firmino's one of them man there who sees out his time at Liverpool. He stays to the end till he ain't got nothing left. I'm not accepting 16 million for. You won't find a player like that. You can't get that. The system. Liverpool's all about the system, see? And that is what makes him such a great player. He knows if he goes Barcelona, he'll probably end up finished.
He is an integral part of the system that we use.
We let him go.
But my honest belief is, though, if he goes to Spain, he'll done it up in Spain. Because Spain's got a great league. He'll done it up in Spain for me. And he's a baller.
He probably could.
I reckon he could. He could do bits out there.
I mean, I'm looking at him and he looks. I mean, this is just off the top of my head. I'm looking at him and I think he's the kind of player who knows his worth, and he knows his worth in that Liverpool system, regardless of whether he starts or not. He's a unique player in terms of what he brings to the Liverpool team. Like today, I saw him in his own half, put in a beautiful challenge on that.
Thank you, Marvelous. Thank you.
He does that. He does that.
That's just one facet of his game. No one really talks about when he gets the ball and dribbles through, or the assists for Mane and Salah. He's an integral part of the squad. We needed to bring someone into.
They showed his stats the other day, and it was like something like 92 goals in the time he's been here. And his assist was something like 52. That's phenomenal, bruv.
What I'm saying, I imagine if you even take a look at his tackling and his interceptions, he's one of the best that's sitting in the Premier League. I don't think we saw a man like that. Not willy-nilly. Yeah.
All right, so we're soon going to wrap this up. Lee Shane says Mbappe to Madrid is done. Don't waste your breath or raise your hopes. Mbappe is too much ego for Klopp. Paul Robinson says, don't let Firmino go for 16 million. Bingy says, I'd sell him, but not for 16 million. That's disrespectful. Like Jed just said, like what we said as well, if Mbappe signs for Liverpool, wage structure will be reminiscent of Afghanistan disarray. Paul Robinson, nights like tonight are when we need a player like him. Solo saying it's 16 in the chat room, but only 8 likes. Can we get the likes up, please? Yep, gentlemen, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, don't forget it. Bingy says we got him for 28 million. I believe we can get back what we paid for him. That'll be pushing it a bit, I reckon.
How old is he?
30 million.
Is that?
Yeah.
Bobby's 30.
Bobby's 30.
Yeah. So
do you know what? Listen,
I don't want to sell him.
Pounds.
I don't want to say
16 million pounds in football terms. 16 million pounds in football terms is nothing. You know, for that 16 million, keep him here, man.
Yeah, man. 100%. 100%. 100%.
That's it.
Keep him here. Gentlemen. All right. So we've got, quickly before we go, I'll just ask for your predictions quickly before we go. All right. So we've got Palace next.
Yeah.
Tony, predictions.
3-0. Palace are getting the smoke.
Who's getting the 3 goals? Quickly, who's getting the 3 goals?
I absolutely love what Patrick Vieira has done at Crystal Palace, but they're getting the smoke.
Who's getting 3 goals?
Okay, Jota's getting 2. Jota's getting a brace, and Trent's getting 1 because they're in my fantasy football team.
All right, marvelous predictions. Liverpool Palace.
I expected Arsenal to put up more of a test, wear them legs out for the game on Sunday. So, but they didn't really. So I'm going from a similar team, and I'm going for probably a 2-0 victory Liverpool. I'm going to keep it humble. 2-0 Liverpool.
Con.
Liverpool 3-1. Jota will score a goal, Milner will score 1, and Robinson will score 1, and that Zaha will probably get sent off. I've never seen someone get vexed. So
Zaha?
Is he back? Is he back?
Is he back yet?
Zaha for Crystal Palace.
No, is he back? He's at AFCON, isn't he?
Back?
I don't know.
Play today.
He ain't back yet. Yeah, man. No. They're through. Sorry, marvelous. I forgot. Who's your goal scorers?
I'm gonna go for Jota gets 1, and I'm gonna go for. Hey, you know what? Why not Eox? Because he missed out today. So why not?
Okay. I'm going 3-1 Liverpool, and I'm going Jota, Firmino, and I'm going for Curtis Jones.
Can't argue with that.
I am.
Nice.
All right, gentlemen. It's been a blast as usual.
And let's hope Benteke starts that game.
I don't care who starts
as well.
I don't care who starts, mate. Bingy says it's been a good watch. DJ Nibsy says it's going to be 2-1 to Liverpool. Bingy says he reckons it's going to be 2-1 as well. Mr. B, the troll, says big up, gents. Keep up the good work. Yeah. Right, gentlemen. Okay, Con, good night. God bless, mate. Mr. Marvelous. Good night. God bless. Thanks for being here. Stony.
Good night. Good night.
Do remember, people, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. All right? It's the best one here. Trust me. See you next week.
Quick question. Are you going to do 1 minute? Are you going to do one for the Palace game?
We might do, mate.
We'll post it.